Hey guys, welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to look at a Leetcode problem, and the problem's name is element appearing more than 25% in sorted array. So in this question we're given an integer array which is sorted in non-decreasing order, which is ascending order, and there is exactly one integer inside this array that occurs more than 25% of the time. So 25% of the total length of the array. So length of the array by 4 will give you 25% of the time, right? So you have to find which element is appearing more than length by 4 times. So this is the only hack you have to find. And it is also mentioned that the array is sorted in ascending order. You can optimize the solution using this hack. So let's take the first example and see how we are getting the respective output. So in this case you can see that 6 is appearing 4 times. So which is more than 25% of the time. So 6 will be the output. So one approach is that you can find the count of every element inside the array using a hash map and check which element is appearing more than length by 4 times, and that should be the output. So let's implement this by building a hash map. So the keys are going to be the array elements. Let's start with the first element. You start the iterations from left to right, from the starting index to the end. You take 1. The frequency of 1 is 1 because it is appearing only one time. 2. Then I'm filling up the map, but it will iterate and check for all elements. So 2 is 2 times, and 6 is 4 times, 7 is once, and 10 is once. Then again you access each entry inside the map and check for the values of those keys. And here you can see this is the most repeated element which is appearing greater than 25% of the time. So you get its respective key. So you pick 6. And you return it as the output. Now let's take a look at the code for this approach. So here you can see I'm building the map and finding the target length. So target is the limit, so total length by 4 as I mentioned. So I'm iterating through the input array using the variable and for each loop. So with this I'm filling the map, and here I'm checking if each element is greater than target. So target is length by 4. So here first, to fill the map there are two parts. In the if block I'm checking if that element is already present inside the map using key contains key method. I'm incrementing its current count by 1. And this else block is for unique elements. If that element is not present inside the map, you are inserting that element and setting its frequency as 1. So this will happen for all unique elements. So each time you find a new element, this else block will be executed, and from the next time, whenever that element is appearing in the map again, you're incrementing its frequency by 1. So with this, I'm filling the map, and inside every for loop, I'm placing another check. So each time we are getting the frequency of that element. So get will return the value of that key, and I'm checking if it is greater than target. If it is greater, I'm directly returning that element or the key as the output. And outside the for loop, we are not able to find any element which is greater than 25%. As the return type is an integer, I'm returning -1 as the output. But according to me, there should be always an element inside the array which is appearing more than 25% of the time because it is mentioned in the question. So the time complexity of this approach is O of n because I'm using a for loop to iterate through the entire input array. And the space complexity is also O of n, where n is the length of the input array, because I'm using a hash map to solve this question and store the counts of the array elements. Now let's take a look at the second approach, which will use O of 1 space and O of n time complexity, which is a good approach because we won't be using any extra space in that solution. So here in the second approach, we are going to use that the array is sorted, and again the limit is going to be length by 4 because we need to get 25%, and I'm going to iterate through the input array from left to right until length minus limit, because I know the output element should repeat at least length by 4 times, and given that the array is sorted, so for example, so in this case length is 9 by 4 is equal to 2 because this will be an integer variable. If I is here, I'm checking if I plus limit is 2, so 0, 1, 2, 3, so 0 plus 2 is 2. I'm checking if this element is also same as this element, because since the array is sorted, all these elements between this range should be same, and if this condition satisfies, that if this element and this element are same, I will return that element as the output. In this case it wasn't same. Here again I will check if all the elements in this range are same, no. Again I will check in this range, if all the elements in this range are same, no. Again I will check if all the elements between this range are same, yes. So I will return this element as output. So let's implement these steps in a Java program. So first I'm calculating the limit, which is length by 4, which will give you 25%. Now I'm iterating through the input array from 0 till length minus limit index. So length minus limit index because inside the for loop I'm going to check for indexes I and I plus limit. So if you iterate from 0 till the end of the array instead of 0 till end of array minus limit, if you iterate till end of the array, for the last index, if you add limit, it will go out of bounds and it will check for these indexes and you will get array out of bounds exception. For that, I am iterating only till this index for this example, because in this case limit length minus 4 will be 9 by 4 is equal to 2. So it will check for this index and this index. So we will iterate only from this index till this index. As I already mentioned, since the array is sorted, we are going to check the element at index. If I is here, it will check I plus 2, I plus 1 is this, I plus 2 is this. If these both are same, yes, 6 and 6 both are same. So that is the majority element which is appearing more than 25% time. So I am returning array of I. So I am returning the element at ith index, which is 6. So 6 will be the output. So the time complexity is O of n, where n is the length of the array, and the space complexity is O of 1 because we are not using any extra space to solve this question. That's it guys. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.